Hi everybody, my name's Gina and this is my story. But before we go any further, make sure you remember to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single video. So my name's Gina, I was born and raised in Derby, up the Midlands. I have a parrot called Yorkie and my favourite TV series is Merlin. If you don't know, get to know. This is how I became a Christian. So I was kind of brought up in church, kind of not. We would go every now and again, but then a long story short, my mum and dad had a divorce, really messy, not fun. A lot of the time at night I would go to sleep to arguments, stuff being thrown about. I was always a bit anxious. I never really knew what the end result was going to be, who was going to end up worse. So that was kind of the environment I was growing up around. But also, ever since a really young age, I've always struggled with my mental health, with anxiety, with just periods of depression and just feeling super low in my mood. And this was really tough, especially going through secondary school, right? So you've kind of got the explainable lows of my mum and dad's divorce, and then I call them the unexplainable lows, those moments of depression or anxiety that I couldn't understand or explain. And then in secondary school, around year 9, these two things kind of collided and I just didn't know what to do. Everything just fell apart and I was in the middle not really knowing what to do. I tried loads of different things to kind of make sense of what was going on at home, at school, in my head. I would stop eating for days. I thought that would help me. I thought if I just lost a little bit of weight or if I could control what I was eating, that might help. I went through periods of just not speaking to my family, of having massive arguments with people and cutting people out because I was like, well, if I don't have to speak to you, I don't have to face the issues. And that again was my way of controlling the situation and trying to make myself feel better. And then at the age of around 13, I actually began to self-harm. And again, this was a control thing. See, in my head, I was like, if I begin to harm, then it's kind of my way of creating this rock bottom for myself. Surely if I get to that point, then it has to get better, right? But that wasn't the case. And this happened for a couple of years, just spiraling out of control. But that isn't where I'm at today, and there's two massive things to thank for that. The first thing is my friends and family around me. I got professional help and I sought support from amazing people. So if you are struggling at all today with that stuff, get help, speak to people. That is the first and most amazing thing that you can do. But the second thing is my faith, and this is how I became a Christian. See, growing up, I'd always heard about Jesus. I'd always kind of known about the gospel and the fact that this guy called Jesus died and came back to life, but it never really meant anything to me. But when I got to this point, I decided to give Jesus another go. I decided to read the Bible for myself. I decided to ask other Christians around me why it was important that Jesus died and came back to life for me. And this changed everything, right? Because the way that I saw myself wasn't good. It was insignificant. It was not valuable. It was ugly. It was worthless. All of these things. But actually, the good news of the gospel is that Jesus, the creator of the whole universe, the God of everything, sees me and sees all of us as valuable enough that he would come to earth and he would die for us and come back to life. So once I kind of realized that, it changed everything. And another massive thing about trusting in Jesus is putting your life in the hands of Jesus, is that I didn't need to control anything anymore. I could trust that the creator of the universe had got it. I could put my trust and my hope in him. All those ways that I tried to control stuff and make things better and sort stuff out in my own way, I no longer needed to do that because instead I could trust Jesus, and that changed everything for me. And now I'm 23, I live in Manchester, I'm part of a band called OTC. And we just tell everybody about Jesus because he has changed our lives in the most amazing way. So that is how I've come to be where I am today, and that is why I'm a Christian.